Strikeforce Diaz versus Daley's in the books, and a great show as usual for Strikeforce. I haven't, in the last, I'd say, year and a half, seen a bad Strikeforce show. And this show was no different than any other Strikeforce show, except that it adds maybe a little extra controversy to the ever controversial Strikeforce and Zuffa merger, if you want to call it that. But nonetheless, great show. First fight, Shinya Aoki defeated Lyle Fancy Pants Beer Bomb by neck crank in the first round. Nothing surprising here. The only thing I would say that is surprising is the fact that Fancy Pants decided to actually try to take Aoki down, which was just a stupid move. I appreciate Beer Bomb going after him and trying to, just take it to have an exciting fight, but you don't take Aoki down and try to submit him or try to do anything on the mat. If he learned anything from all of Aoki's other previous losses, he know that the best way to beat Aoki is by stand-up. And Beer Bomb decided just to do the total opposite. Shame on him. But nonetheless, I actually expect to see more Beer Bomb. I actually like his personality. And this was a big step. He had nothing to lose in this fight. Aoki had more to lose. And showing by the reaction of Aoki after he won the fight, I'm happy that he won. He won for Japan, and I'm excited for him. He gets to see his son for the first time. After I learned that after watching the interview with Ariel Helwani, that Aoki sacrificed a lot. Hasn't really spoken to his family too much during this whole debacle in Japan, but nonetheless, Aoki wins. Really, really happy, and I look forward to seeing Aoki fight again in Strikeforce soon. According to the interview with Helwani, Aoki says that he wants to fight in the United States. So we'll see what's going on with him, and hopefully there'll be a good matchup for him soon. Second fight, Gegard Mousasi versus Keith Jardine. And this fight ended in a draw. And it didn't shock me. And I tell you why. I've gotten so used to the judges screwing up on these decisions and on big fights that I just expected Mousasi to lose the first round. Once I saw that they deducted a point from Mousasi, I just knew that they were going to just give him just no help in the decision, and that they were going to give Jardine a decision, a favorable round. But nonetheless, it became a majority draw. I think the only referee that got it right, there was only one that had a 29, 27, and whatever. If you're a fight fan, you know that just by looking at it that Mousasi won all 3 rounds, but these judges are screwed up. There's nothing more to say about it. What I will say is that it was an exciting fight. Mousasi didn't finish Jardine, which I actually predicted that he would finish him off quickly. Jardine was gassed after the first round, and Mousasi didn't help Jardine out because he was pressuring through the whole fight. But Jardine, he stood through this brawl. Mousasi was just teeing off on him. If you look at his face, it was like his eyes are like budged out. But nonetheless, a draw. And what's crazy is that Mousasi kind of didn't even fight the draw and make a reaction. He kind of expected it, and he agrees with it. So I'm not going to fight too much about it and raise my hand and jump all over Twitter and everybody else and all the judges. If Mousasi doesn't want to fight a stupid decision, there's no way that I'm going to go ahead and call arms to that. But it was a good fight. There hasn't been a bad fight in this whole show so far. Now, third fight on the main card, Gilbert Melendez defeated Tatsuya Kawajiri by first round TKO. Really, really surprising. I was kind of disappointed Kawajiri got laid out like that. Melendez is an awesome fighter, and if people don't recognize him as maybe as probably the top lightweight in the world. I think you're crazy. But Melendez defeated Kawajiri, and in devastating fashion, Kawajiri got beat at kickboxing or fighting in the stand-up, which is surprising. Nothing much to say because it wasn't a long fight, and just the fact that the elbows being reinstated in whatever the elbows being put into the Strikeforce rules helped out Melendez. I think his elbows really did damage at Kawajiri. At one point, I think he was on top of Kawajiri on the mat and just was elbowing him, and just pretty crazy. But Melendez wins in very convincing and devastating fashion, and props to him. He really defeated a warrior. There's nothing more to say. Main card, Nick Diaz defeated Paul Daley, first round TKO. And I can't say one negative thing about this fight. Both guys went out there trying to kill each other. Diaz is just a ballsy fighter. He's as ballsy as it comes. Basically fought Daley on the stand-up, and he got rocked early. And normally I would have thought Diaz would have tried, after getting rocked early in the fight, he would have tried to go after, take Daley down, but he decided to keep up the stand-up, and Daley looked like he was gassed a little, he was tired, or I don't know what was going on with Daley, but he exerted himself a lot in that opening couple seconds, or that opening knockdown, and Diaz just stood in his face and was hitting him, peppering with these little shots. Daley eventually got rocked a couple times in that round, and this all happened in one round, which is amazing. It was so much action in one round, 5 minutes of a fight. I've never seen so much action where guys are just going at each other. But props to Daley. It was a win-win situation as a fan because, number one, I like Diaz. As far as I'm concerned, I like Diaz. I like his swagger. I like everything about Diaz, the whole mean thing, and how he carries himself. And not everybody's going to be a polite, gentleman. When this is a contact sport, it's a very violent sport, and there's going to be guys out there that are just angry all the time, 24/7. And I know I've spoken to Lazy the Savage, where he's mentioned that Diaz is actually a really cool guy. He's total opposite when it outside of the fight time, but nonetheless, great fight. Daley in the first round gets hit with a shot, and I don't know if it's a delayed reaction. According to Daley, he slipped, but he fell way back. He just fell back, and when he fell down, Diaz just ran over, just started hitting him with shots, with about 6 shots, and with 3 seconds left in the first round, Big John McCarthy comes in and ends the fight. And my first reaction was, "What are you doing? What are you doing, John McCarthy?" And I've always said on Twitter and everything, and amongst my friends, I publicly said I would be probably the worst referee on the face of MMA, because I would allow guys to get fully clean, knocked out, or concussed before I would end the fight, just to be on the safe side. Is it on the safe side of the fighters? I have no idea, but that's how I would do it. I was really upset, but after seeing Daley get up with the 3 seconds left, and after that fight ended, Daley was slow to get up. He looked like he was on Dream Street still. I have to admit that McCarthy had the right move, ending the fight, and I give props to McCarthy for even seeing that. There were 6 unanswered shots, and you always got to intelligently defend yourself. It's a title fight. Sometimes you give a little bit of leeway, but nothing you could do about that. Daley completely seemed like he was out of it, and Diaz wins. And Diaz is just proven to be, like one of the best welterweights out there. There's nothing more to say. He's still angry, pissed off. But, I would love to meet Nick Diaz. I think he's awesome, and I think he's great for the sport. I mean, this is just a great show altogether. I'm gonna fully admit that I didn't see the actual whole show. I was busy. But I did. Well, I wasn't busy. I came home late after having dinner somewhere. Long story short, I was able to see the main event live, and then afterwards I saw the rest of the fights on the replay that night. But I didn't see all the between that. I didn't see all the actual whole show and all the interviews that went on. I believe they interviewed Scott Coker and they had several promos, but nonetheless, I hope you guys enjoyed the vlog. The Strikeforce ended, I believe, in an hour and a half, so there's not much to talk about. But I enjoyed it fully. I hope that it keeps ongoing. This was probably the last non-Zuffa booked show. Although there were some small tweaks to the way that the show was ran, between Coker being in between and the fighters and the stare downs and just some of the promos. And I'm noticing already that if you have the UFC fan membership, that they're allowing you to get pre-orders on Strikeforce, and so Zuffa's gonna slowly come in. And Dana White was there. I heard, according to J Ride, Dana was booed loudly. So shout out to him. But nonetheless, awesome show. I keep on saying that. If you guys have any comments, please feel free to comment, and bad, good, give me feedback about the show. Add me on Twitter. Shout out to Bloodstained Lane, Sambo, IQ Wrestler, J Ride, who's been awesome. Mo and Sean and Gumby and everybody in Team Takeover. I'm gonna try to spruce up some of these vlogs because I don't want these to get a little too repetitive. I'm gonna look into probably investing into a flip camera or something to probably take some of the show or some footage on the road, because I'm sure you guys are probably getting a little tired of. You'll never get tired of seeing Hogan, but probably tired of seeing 50. Although every time I put the lights on, 50's face gets blurred out. But nonetheless, gonna stop filibustering, and thanks for watching. Comment, and I'll see you guys on the forum. Peace.